and welcome to Rainbows and Razor Blades Productions, where chaos reigns in all of our content. Tonight, we're playing Somnum Exterreri. If you look at the episode name, Star Eater, that's a band that's going to be prominent in it tonight.
I should make a logo shirt for them.
Thank you, everybody who is tuning in. I am your GM for this evening, Kristen, and you can find me on the internet at Darcerelish. And I do things, so go check it out. Let's meet my players. We'll start with Kat.
Hi, me first. Oh, shit. Hi, I'm Kat, otherwise known as Autumn Knox. Tonight I'm playing Obscura, our Netrunner, the little sister to our, unfortunately not here tonight, Lobo, who has poems, and I'm not even going to try that shit. So,
Lobo,
here we
hobo,
go.
oh no.
Lobo Hobo sticks his dick in things that he should not, because it's a no-no. There you go.
Whoa.
Just for you, Tim.
Eric with 1C.
Hi, my name is Eric. I am playing Half Moon Harvey, the fixer / kind of rocker boy for today's game. So I am also the creator of my own game, Trials of Bren. But go into more details after that, and looking forward to it tonight.
And we're going to really hope that Marie's Mike picks her up tonight. So Marie.
Can you hear me?
Yep. It's a little delayed, but we're good. We can work with it.
I think we'll have fun with that, actually.
I'm Marie. I'm playing Patches the Mid-Tech.
And Eric with
Enough.
disease.
Hi, I'm Eric. I am the exec for the team. I put things together and then scare the crap out of people with threatening to retire them. You can find me as
for
a
any
spare
of you
anywhere.
that didn't see in the chat, your reputation goes up by 1.
Oh, cool.
I meant to say that while we were talking, and then we got talking about other things, and
I think I heard that, and then I kind of forgot.
alrighty then.
Oh. No, go ahead. Keep going.
Previously on Somnum Exterreri, a lot of shit has happened. A lot of shit has gone down. They spent some time on the prison level. They got to see what it's like in Freedamu, the city of the free. They have made contracts with people that are now dead and contracts with people that apparently killed them to take their spots. Their latest attempt is to fulfill both contracts. So they were originally hired by Jacinda Hidalgo, who was the face of Rockland Augmentix, to get information from a netrunner.
Did you work a 10-hour? Did you work a 10-hour shift?
No, I just can't word for shit.
Well, I think she's listening to additional beverages.
The netrunner Risk, because he has blackmail information that she wants to not be out in the world. Well, when they were sent down to Ignotus, the prison level, to speak to Jimmy the Snake, who would have more information on how to get to Risk, Frink, insert Lobo, I can think.
Bite is good. Bite is good.
Bite is God.
Bite is God. That would be a good band name, actually.
It would be. So, while they were down there, Frink assassinated Jacinda Hidalgo. So when they emerged from Ignotus, they were face to face with Lobo's ex and Frink's current girlfriend and right hand, Kiara. In all terrifying glory.
That bitch.
After which, a short fight ensued, and they then retired to the Howler, where is Harvey's bar. And they talked some things through, did some drinking, new people came by, and they began to come up with a plan to get at Risk when he's not in the casino full of people by having Star Eater, Nicholas's band, who is the love interest of Obscura, put on a show on Tempestus level. And Risk is a known lover of going out to see live shows. And so we're going to have two members of the party inserted into his security detail, as overnight, Janetta and Lobo did go and take out two of the security guards. And so they are now looking for two replacements. And that is where we will pick up.
All right, so who's taking point with those? I'll be honest with you, I kind of had one too many drinks before we came here.
So
who's
you're
taking the
gonna
uniforms?
You're gonna perform with the band. Lobo and I
Yeah.
are going to go with the security detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Patches is gonna go hang out in the ambulance and wait for us to load Risk into it, whether he's willing or unconscious. And Domino's gonna go with Lobo and I to see Risk, and he's gonna try and talk Risk into joining us and helping us by making him think that he has some sort of bug in his brain that's going to kill him when the corporation sees fit. So we're going to see if that works first. If not, we're going to knock him out, take him to wherever we want to take him to, and I'm going to net run on him.
All right. And how many songs am I playing, or are we just playing the first one and just nabbing him?
It depends on how long it takes him to come down. So you may have to have a set list just ready to go. You had one song you wanted to play real bad, and then the rest of Star Eater's
their songs are easy to learn. Their songs are easy to learn. So yeah, it's just like 4 chords, and the occasional freaking wah thing, whatever that theremin. Yeah, I don't know why they have that.
Because it sounds cool, I think. I don't know, Nick. Why do you have the theremin?
Because
you had 500
music, man. No, I don't know.
I think you just had $500 to spend, and you decided to buy a theremin.
I mean, why not?
I will admit up front here that I know nothing about making in any way, shape, or form. I barely know what guitars and drums are, so
just go with it.
Yeah, the theremin is that instrument where it's a rod that if you get closer to it, it goes. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious.
Janetta walks up and she's all like, all right, we've got the 2 ambulances, and I've got 2 of my guys in the 1 ambulance. Patches, you're going to be in the other with one of my other guys.
Bless you. 20.
All right. So at this point, Obscura kind of looks at Lobo and says, hey, we're about to do a job. You need to go do your pre-check on all your gear that you're wearing, your legs, everything. I left the kit in Harvey's office, so why don't you go do that? You're going to argue, but let's just get it done so we can go.
He grumbles a little bit. I give Vink and walks into the office.
Don't.
I was literally thinking
throw
the same
up.
thing.
Don't throw up.
I've not been.
Hopefully he doesn't shit on your floor.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he did both again.
He's sober, so probably not. All right. So Obscura waits for him to go in there and close the door, and looks at everybody and looks at Patches. Look, Patches, I need to get him in the ambulance with you, and then I need you to drug him and knock him out. He is so intent that he thinks he's going to kill Risk, and he's still a little hungover and a little wound from what happened with Kiara. I think we need to just make him sleep. He's going to be pissed at me, but just knock him out. And then Janetta can come with me instead. I think that's going to be the better bet
I
this
can
time.
absolutely lure him in.
Would you please? Because that would, I think that would be the safer bet. So, and then if he can come around like when we get back, and that's fine. And if I got a net run, just make sure he's awake enough. And because otherwise he'll be pissed if he's not there to watch over me when I net run. That's the only thing. So,
Fair enough.
all right. We good with that? Because Patches, can you come up with something to help knock his ass out? Cool. So that's all I got. Otherwise, I'm good to go. I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page with that.
All right, when we starting?
About that time, Dulcie walks through the door and she has a garment bag with her. And she's like, I believe you need these. And she unzips it, and it's 2 uniforms for the security company. And she kind of winks over at Obscure and is like, I figured it would be Janetta going in and not Lobo. So.
Good call.
And Risk has a weakness for the ladies.
Yeah, I'm actually looking through the gear at the moment. I can't find something.
Marie, your voice just came up from what you were explaining earlier. Oh, we'll eventually get this figured out. I swear.
I kind of look at Patches and I go, I think something's wrong with your voice modulator. It's a little late.
Alrighty then. Well, before we get changed, because Lobo will be on to me if I walk in there in the uniform, I'll go do my part. And she disappears into the office, and there is a side door for the office that leads out to the alley where the ambulance is parked. And she does successfully lead him out to the ambulance.
I don't think it was all going to be all that hard. Or wait, difficult. Difficult.
Difficult.
And so Patches jumps in with her concoction to knock him out, and he is peacefully sleeping in one of the ambulance for the duration.
Good night.
Janetta kind of jumps out and buttons up a button on her shirt. All right, let's get changed.
It's a good thing that I had a jacket in here because I'm actually cold because the fan is on me.
It's a nice, cool 83 here.
Yeah, it's weird in here because of the outside weather, and I can't win because I turned the fan off and it's too hot. So I'm just gonna sit here in my leather jacket. This is my uniform.
Your equilibrium.
And so Janetta and Obscura get into their security uniforms in the office, and as they come out, you guys can begin to make your way up to Patches will be in one of the ambulances with the guys. The other 3 of you and Janetta will fit very easily in the hired car that our exec has hired off and on. And he pulls up and he's like, all right, we going up? Let's go. He kind of looks around and he's like, all right, good. The guy with the sardines is not here.
No, he's sleeping.
Not yet, at least.
All right. Marie messaged me. She's gonna search the gear in the ambulance for a light sedative in case Risk gets rowdy. So go ahead and give me a perception check to see what else you can find. Because it's a heavier sedative that you had on hand for Lobo.
You can just water that down with, like, some beer or something, right?
21. So yes, you do find in the box there is some lighter sedatives that won't completely knock a person out. That will keep them conscious but floaty and out of it, so that it's harder for him to fight back.
Right.
As you're all outside, Nick does pull up with the rest of his band in their what could be considered a tour bus, but really looks more like a food truck that was altered into a tour bus.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me. I mean,
Whatever
you got your
works.
own kitchen there at that point.
Yeah.
Right, Cher, we getting this party started? Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to
Oh.
take a look around in the area and see if we can identify any areas that there might be people that could congregate that we could lead risk into to get us out of the primary view of others.
Okay, well, first you've got to go all the way up to Tempestus level because it's taking place at the GQ Theater.
Okay. Well, when we get there.
Yeah. And people will start rolling in probably about half hour to an hour after you guys get there so the band can set up and all that jazz.
Am I with them?
You can ride in the tour bus with them, but it's probably more comfortable in the car with the others.
Okay. I'm still Half Moon Harvey is still like doing a little bit of pre-gaming just as a rock star. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Stereotype?
No, not stereotype.
Ritual?
Tradition. Thank you. Just as a typical rock star tradition. He's just taking a few shots.
And so, actually, it'd probably be better if you go with the band so that you can go straight to the area.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys can go past the theater quick to check things out first. Otherwise, you're going to Risk's apartment first to get in on his security and try and talk him into working on your side.
Right. I won't go on the tour bus. I'll go with them, but I'm still pre-gaming.
Okay. So then yeah, you'll go by the theater first so that you can drop off Harvey and get a lay of the land for anybody that hasn't been in the theater. And what it is it's a partially open amphitheater. So you drive up and there's walls kind of like the Colosseum at the front. And then it's all open air above, except for a partial dome over the stage for acoustics. And the acoustics have been built by a musical genius sound engineer so that all of the sound makes it feel like it's going straight into your body, not just your ears. And so that's why it's the preferred place to perform by bands.
Makes sense.
Nova.
So when you pull up, there's not a whole lot of parking because not a whole lot of people drive, especially on Tempestus level. Like some of them are driven around, but for the most part, there's moving walkways and elevators and the like that take them where they need to go. So there's not like a real parking area, but there's like that curved driveway where people can be dropped off out front. And then as you walk in between two of the columns, it opens up onto the seats, which aren't really seats. It's like levels of grass, but the grass has been genetically engineered to be different colors. So like one level is purple and one level is pink, and it's kind of like a rainbow as it goes down towards the stage. And then the stage is a semicircle up at the front, and there are screens that can be used behind the artists to project so that people have a better view.
I haven't played a stage like this one in a long ass time. It's a good feeling to come back.
When you pull up, Nick pulls in behind you and then kind of does this out the window because he's going around to the back so they can get out all the gear by the stage.
Mhm.
And as you walk inside, the scoundrels are already setting up for this battle of the band.
All right. Nova.
So for the ambulance part, it will be kind of more a bringing a stretcher in to pull him out than actually coming in with the ambulance, unless the crowd is so big that it's overspilled out into the front, which there are screens out front that can also project what's happening inside if there is the overflow.
So I think we want to ensure that the overflow actually happens because it'll just make things easier for us. So I want to make a few calls to some of the HR reps that I've been networked with and let them know that they can bring some of their, oh, no, 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 not HR. I'm going to get a hold of sales.
Okay.
I'm going to let these sales reps know that, hey, you're going to see some really cool cyberware here manufactured by Rockland. Why don't you bring some of your clients down here so they can see it in action?
More people, yes.
Call some of the public relations people and say, hey, bring the clients out, kind of thing, like the big name clients.
Yeah, and then I will leave word at the front that these people that I called can come and pick up tickets to get in. That'll ensure that we have extra people mingling around.
Roll me a persuasion check to see how many extra bodies you get.
Okay. There. I actually just increased that because of the IP we just got. So I have a 14 to start, and I just got a 4, so it's going to be 18.
Okay, yeah, you get a good number of the sales reps and the PR people excited about it. Like, oh, it's gonna be our stuff up there. All right, awesome. And we'll say that you actually did get in contact with Frink, and he did authorize the use of some of the new legal cyberware to be used by the bands, and he sent some performers that can dance around the stage that have it actually implanted.
That's a good idea. I'm glad that I thought of that.
I was
TM
gonna have
copyright.
that be I was gonna say that Frink was gonna send that anyways, but since you're making the calls, that was probably one of the calls you made.
Even if Frank said yeah, let's do that, he'd probably be like, yeah, that's my idea.
Copyright TM.
I mean, he did try to shoot Frank in the face, so like he cares.
Harvey, for extra bodies as well, I would like you to roll me a persuasion check for how many bodies you get just by sending flyers out to contacts you have.
Okay. And that's what am I rolling for again?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. God, I keep forgetting how many things there are here.
It's under cool.
Yeah. 16.
Okay, yeah. There's a good number of bodies that you get to that are more in the know of what kind of things you have going on and just kind of realize, oh, hey, this is going to be something where he just needs those bodies, and we're meat shields, but not for being attacked, for being blocking.
Right. Not being the quarterback.
And then Janetta is gonna make a roll. Got it in as well. So then Janetta also works through her contacts because she has contacts throughout the security of many of the mega corporations. and she is calling all of her trusted contacts to come in and be either crowd control or crowd instigators as need be. uh Patches in the ambulance as you're driving up. There is one extra person that has jumped on board to ride up there with you and is going to be orchestrating things herself. But Dulcie jumps into your passenger. All right. What do we do next, my fair friends?
Well, are we waiting for? We got to wait for the band to start playing, really, to get Risk's attention, don't we? Or are we going to just go up there and start talking to him and see if we can sway him before we try to lure him out? Which was our.
He has received messages from various contacts about the show because many people know that he is a big fan of music. But you would probably want to get up there. Dulcie did say that she had it slotted in for you guys to be on the night shift. So for the security people, it needs to be in within the next like half hour that you get up there for your shift so that it's not suspicious.
So what I'm thinking is that we want to wait for the show to start, because if he goes to the show, he's going to be fashionably late. The opening bands usually aren't that great, anyways.
Yeah.
So I would say that maybe as we start walking out to go there, that's when we talk to him, because then we're away from his apartment, which is probably bugged.
True. So yeah, we do need to go talking him into coming out.
So Chris, I think what we need to find is an area that is not compromised to talk to him.
Okay, so his apartment actually does it's in the northwest pillar and on the side that faces the theater so that he can sit out on his balcony and listen to any of the music that's being played there.
Oh,
Uh
that's great.
but he does enjoy going to them in person when they're in the evenings because it's during the day that he like
Right.
sits on his balcony to listen.
No, but that's like the balcony would be a great place to talk, because then you got all that ambient noise around you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so then
And
it's just a straight shot over it's still like 2 miles from his apartment to the theater, but the way the acoustics are, you can hear it all along that area.
Mhm.
Cool beans.
Okay. All right. I think we need to head up there then. If it's 2 miles away, we need to get a move on.
yeah, that's fine.
All right, so the two of you and Janetta jump in the car with the driver. It's pretty easy to get over there. Again, there's not a whole lot of car traffic down here. And it's also been slotted in that the two new security guards are bringing with them a representative of the company to make sure that Risk is happy with the current situation with his security and to maybe pitch some ideas to him. So he is prepared for you to be there.
Okay.
That's good
All right.
because.
So when we get there, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say he seems like somebody that would not like a surprise like that. So
Yeah. So when we get there, I'll go to the trunk, grab my portable wardrobe, and make sure that I look presentable. Double check the suits and other gear. Then I guess we'll head up.
All right,
Mhm.
give me a style and wardrobe and style check.
All right.
See how fancy you look.
All right. Well, I start with 14. I rolled a 6, so I have a 20.
Okay, yeah, you pull out like a really slick suit that's got some cybernetic enhancement in it. So like it sparkles like it's glitter, but it's like little lights and you can make them make images and like this really nice pair of dress shoes and you've got a bow tie that has cybernetics as well, and like will change the colors of it with the
Well, I'll just make sure that they're all connected to my light tattoos and my tech hair, so that way that the colors all mesh seamlessly. Again,
Absolutely.
plenty of purple because that's my style, my color choice.
Slick. Does that go in time to music too?
Oh
It
yeah.
can.
Neat.
All
All right,
right.
so we'll be heading up that hill.
Yep, let's go.
So as you walk up to the pillar, the apartments on Tempestus level are not how they are down on Ignis, where everybody's crammed together and it's like the size of a normal studio for what we're all used to, like 500 to 600 square feet kind of thing, is actually like 2 apartments down on Ignis. There is very little room down there where they haven't shoved people. Up here on Tempestus, you walk into a glass fronted elevator that kind of rounds with the pillar, and uh, Janetta pushes the button for the. It's not quite the penthouse suite level, but this is like a. I want to say I made them 20 levels, so there's like 20 in a row. It's not up at the top there, but it's like only 4 or 5 down, and it takes up almost, I'd say it's about a 2,000 square foot apartment that he occupies. And so when you get up to the floor, there is there's many security officers from many different companies that would be in this building. But on this floor in particular, you walk past the first door that has some security on it, and Janetta kind of like tips her hat to one of them because she knows them. And then the next door is the one for Risk over on that far side of the building. And there's 2 guards standing out on site in uniforms that match what you have, and they both nod as if they're expecting reinforcements. Well,
Okay,
good day.
that's
Are you? I take it you're our backup. Let me just, and he like raps with a finger on the door. Let's get you introduced to Mr. Risk. And he kind of eyes you a little bit, Domino, as you look important, and he knows that there was an important person coming, but he's confused because he's never seen you in the office. So he's like, who is this person that's so high above my pay grade I've never seen?
so back. What are you talking about? Or these are the replacements? I'm here to talk about the business, give some
Hey,
other
the
options.
backup, it's what we call all the newbies that show up, because most of the time Risk just calls them backup until he has them around long enough to actually give them a name, because he never calls us our correct names.
Yeah,
Delightful.
that makes sense. See, you're disposable to guys like that.
Pretty
You
much,
know,
but we're paid well for it, so.
yeah, you're paid well, but it really helps if your clients will treat you with more respect. I can't promise anything with the Risk. He's that kind of guy, but I'll see if I can at least get a little more consideration for you.
All right, give me a persuasion roll to see how far you get these guys on your side for right now.
All right, I got a 20 total.
Oh yeah, they look really interested in the fact that a bigwig is coming out and talking to Risk, and maybe things will get easier for them. But as he is as you're talking, the door does open. Another guard has answered the door. It is another female guard. As you look around, there are 2 other guards in here. You're replacing 2 of them as you're the next shift, and it's like 2 are replaced every few hours to keep fresh people on his roster at all times. But it is only female office security officers inside the pet or inside the apartment.
Obscure's thinking to herself, well, it's good that we got rid of Lobo for the evening. This could have gone badly.
Not for
And
him.
Yeah,
they all
he
kind of
might not
give
have been
you
able to talk his way out of that.
they
No.
all kind of give you both Obscura and Janetta wry grins, and two of them walk up and shake your hands and welcome to Team Risk, as we refer to ourselves, anyways. Um, he is currently preparing himself because he has heard that there is a show that will be happening, and he does intend to attend in about an hour or so.
All right.
Uh,
Do you usually take a long time to get ready, or will he be actually exiting his room at least to do things? What is his usual
I
habits
mean,
and patterns?
clothing isn't that big of a deal since he barely wears any. Be prepared for that. It is a sight.
I've
Uh,
heard.
but he will spend a little more time on his hair, and he does do. I have to say, his eyeliner game is amazing.
Oh, maybe I can talk him to give me some tips. Mine is not.
But then he usually comes out about a half an hour before he plans to leave, and has some cocktails on the balcony before he goes to make sure that he at least hears some of the opening acts.
So,
Sounds good. Does he have a preferred place that he likes us to post, or do we just trail him like little lost puppies? What is his preference versus what we're actually going to do?
Well, for the most part, you just stand outside his door here, and when he comes out, he does like to have at least one or two people on the balcony with him. But he is aware, sir. I've not had the pleasure, but we're very thankful that somebody that's high up in the company is taking an interest in all of this. Uh, so
yeah,
he'll probably want to meet with
we've heard
you.
some of the things that you guys are looking for to try to make your job a little easier. So we're going to try to negotiate some amendments to the contract.
That is appreciated. But he does like to have at least one security guard out on the balcony with him, just in case.
Mhm.
For some reason, he's got in his mind that somebody's going to scale down from the balcony above to attack him.
You
I don't know
know,
where he gets these.
I he's not paranoid. I'll tell you that. So it is better to have at least one guard. In fact, we'll make sure we have at least two with them out there. But keep an eye out. The walls aren't safe, so maybe get your guards closer to the windows and away from the center of the room.
Will do. But that's me passing on the news. Myself and Sherry here are on our way out. The other two women in the room are standing post at his bedroom door. She says, "This is Doris and Kathy, and they'd be happy if he gets to ogle the new flesh for a while and break, because it gets a little creepy. But again,
I
Um,
we'll
can
pay well for it."
I can handle creepy. It's fine.
I'm gonna turn to Jay and Obscure and say, "Do you think we should give them an opportunity to visit Harvey's place to get away from things, or because you never know
Mm,
what he might be able to negotiate later?"
I mean, we can tell him to swing by there at some point, but Harvey's not there to really negotiate
Right. I
anything.
mean, obviously their shift right now is in, but I think maybe if we give him his address, him and some of his people can maybe help them out a little bit.
Roll a human perception check to see if they would be willing to leave their
Okay.
post, because they are very well paid.
No, not the ones staying there. The ones
The
leaving.
one's leaving. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
Like
all
when they're
very
off
well paid,
shift.
though. Yeah.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
an 18 total.
Okay, they very much portray people that, I mean, they're being ogled, slightly sexually harassed, but it's not as bad as it could be. Uh, and they're very well paid to work this rotation.
Oh, I'm not
It is.
suggesting they quit. I'm saying
Oh,
giving Harvey connections for
oh,
secondary
gotcha,
Helping
gotcha.
helping Harvey make some connections or even contacts that he can mine for information.
Exactly.
They look like they'd be willing to talk, but it would definitely be a persuasion versus persuasion conversation to see if they could be trusted.
Okay, that'll leave that up to Harvey. I just want to give him some options. He's got a lot of going on. He deserves to have a little bit of extra right now.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and give the number and just however you want to say, hey, I've got a fixer friend, all that.
Yeah, I think Harvey could use a little extra there. So from a little something. You seem all right.
Things have been dull around here, so.
He could use some new friends.
One or two.
Things have been a little dull, Che.
Shut up.
All right. And so you're in Risk's apartment. The other two have taken the information for Harvey and left. And the two that are currently positioned at his door, Doris and Cherry, kind of warily nod at you. And Cherry looks up and Cherry. So, if you guys want to take this post, we can go ahead and post up for now near the patio. And let me roll something quick. Maybe if I can find a dice I need. She looks over the three of you, and you get the impression that she can tell that y'all are there for more than just being security, and not just because there's an exec with you. But she gives a small smile and she makes a symbol with her hand that's almost like sign language, and aims it towards Janetta. And Janetta just kind of nods and makes a symbol back. Domino, you would know
So
that
West Side.
that this means that at least Cherry of the guards here is likely to be one of Janetta's security contacts from Danger Gal.
Okay.
So when he comes out, cut you guys a little break, we can go out on the patio with him. That way you guys can hang back and have a break from the creepiness
Eyes.
that we've been told that he has about him. I'm going to just stare at the TNA show instead of treating you like people.
I mean, at least we get to keep wearing our regular uniforms and not the bikinis that he wanted us to wear at one point.
That's a
And she
relief.
just kind of giggles and goes to stand over by the patio.
I'd like to see Lobo in one of those.
I'm going to pass on that. Remember what he looked like when he stripped down in the street?
Yes, that's why I wanted to suggest it, because then he would give him some extra sardines and he'd be a riot. No, he'd cause a riot. You're right. We'll forget that idea.
It'll smell like a riot.
Yeah. Also that. Or leave his riot on the floor in Harvey's bar.
Oh, shut up. Hell no. We have an outside for that. And a broken toilet.
We're going to put drunk Lobo outside from now on. All right. So they will go over to the patio. So I guess I'm going to go stand over by the door and look like a good security guard.
Janetta posts up on the opposite wall and kind of motions at you, Domino, and points towards not the plushest seat in the house, because there's a chair in this room that is like made out of shag material, and it is a bright teal, and it looks like the kind of place that somebody would unfortunately love to lounge around naked.
So you're telling me that this chair looks like it was made in the 70s and died in the 90s?
Yes.
Oh my God. What is it says that I'm old is what it says, because I can actually visualize
But
that.
there is two other chairs that sit across from it, and you could take up one of those.
I'm definitely going to do that. In fact, I'm going to make sure I pull out go grab a tissue or something from the kitchen and wipe it down a bit.
It is leather for this seat, so.
All right, I'll make
throne
myself
thing of
actually, I'll make three drinks and then sit down.
All right. So you sit there for maybe 10, 15 minutes while you are waiting for Risk to come out. Harvey, back at the arena, a lot of people are starting to pile in. You see hundreds of people. And before the opening band even starts, it does begin to have the overflow. The opening band is actually one of your friends that is a DJ, and it's very similar to the synthwave that you had heard at Val's down in Furidamu. But they're not just a DJ. They've got it's all like almost a Blue Man Group kind of setup where they add in some of their own music with like PVC pipe.
Okay. I thought that style of music died years ago. Ah, well, I'm not complaining.
You have unfortunately listened to her DJ many a time because she is uh a friend. She's actually the sister of one of your band members that passed away.
Which one? The singer or the guitar player?
The guitar player.
Oh, this is awkward.
She doesn't hold you accountable for anything, and you guys actually bonded and became friends after.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like it's still survivor's guilt because I was not entirely in control, and it was a situation my drummer was anticipating was going to happen, and she knew I was not a very smart man back then, probably not still now. So like, I still talk with her, but then at the same time, I feel
I
guilty.
imagine that you're kind of that anonymous benefactor that she kind of guesses it's you that has helped her like get shit set up.
Well, also in the past, I've waived bucks, for her to help her with some things, just survivor's guilt, essentially. Like I've done what I can to try and ease my guilt, but nothing's really gotten away fully. So,
But while she plays and she's got it's not even like actual hair. She has taken odd bits of old cyber tech and like created a headpiece out of it
mhm.
that has lights that flash to the music, and then she's got on just this like bright outfit and she's having a blast up there. There's people in the audience dancing. They've set all of their flashy cybernetic gear to flash the same colors and rhythm as hers, and it's very much a rave right now.
It's like being. I can't think of an analogy. I'll just go with that. I was gonna say it's like being surrounded by bright lights. I don't got one. I don't got one.
And Patches, about this time, yourself and Dulcie and the one security guard with a drugged up, passed out Lobo in the back, uh, you do pull up with the other ambulance to the outer edges, one on this side, one on this side of basically the front door. I tried to mute myself with my arm.
Yeah, stop talking like I do.
Front door.
So, like, in the circular drive where people get dropped off, there's one ambulance off to each side to basically what looks like set up triage stations. So you do pull out, like, a table and put some bottles of water and, like, stuff like that, that you're like, all right, stay hydrated, bitches. uh, the plan is if he does need to go into an ambulance, it's going to be in the other ambulance, unless Lobo was put in the other ambulance.
I figured we stuffed him in the front seat of whatever ambulance that Patches is going to be in, that we're going to put Risk in. That way we all go back to the same fucking place.
Okay, so when Dulcie rides with her, she is up front. And then when you guys stop, you can kind of prop Lobo up in the passenger
We'll just
seat.
shove him somewhere, because otherwise he's not going to make it back with the rest of us, and that's going to be a bad scene.
Did we discuss like once you guys do that and you go into the van, is there like a signal for me to join you guys, or do I just continue playing?
I imagine that it'll be an agent message.
Yeah, we just send a message to you and tell you to wind down and break up the show. So
Okay.
that because everybody needs to go, because Nick and the
Or-
band need to go too.
Okay. I know. Nick was telling me he has
Or maybe
curfew.
bring on
so-
one of the maybe bring on one of the other bands that did really well and say, hey, you guys get to do the encore and play us out.
Let the scoundrels do the encore.
No, I'll just get. You know what? I have an idea because it always works every show. People lose their goddamn minds when someone comes out and does a triangle solo. Because everybody's high at their freaking mind. It doesn't matter what's being played. So
So just find some asshole to do a triangle solo and get out.
it's not that hard. Just pull out the triangle and people lose their shit to be like, who's the best? Who can whack this thing the hardest? And then, there's always that one guy that goes, oh, yeah, me. And, it's like some guy from, the 2020s. So, yeah, get that guy aboard.
Well, everybody is set up where they need to be for this next stage. And on that note, we're going to go take our break. We'll be back
All right.
in about 5-10 minutes.
Woo.
Hello and welcome back. For those that are just joining us or need a recap, everybody's getting into place to attempt to either convince Risk to come to their side or snatch him so that Obscura can net run against his portable architecture to get to the information he's hiding. And so, everybody's in their place. Up in the apartment, the doors, and it's double doors, and they just open like this, and out walks Risk. He's got this partial mohawk that is bright teal that matches the shag chair that he's got. And then in the back, it goes down to a very thin line and down to a rat tail that hangs and comes over his shoulder.
Oh my god, he has a fucking rat tail. The
The
90s
80s called-
goddamn called.
Is he a bastard? Is he a rat bastard?
As far as what he's wearing, he's got no shirt on, but he's got a crop top leather jacket that is a bright pink. That's obviously all it's covering is his arms. And then his pants are a pink mesh, and he's got basically just a pink Speedo underneath it. And then he's got on these gaudy fucking teal cowboy boots.
This guy fucked.
And all I can think of is if he drove a car, it would be the pussy wagon from Kill Bill.
I was thinking that myself, honestly.
It's
Just in teal
he-
instead of pink.
he looks like the physical embodiment of the pussy wagon.
Oh, that's amazing. I did not even try to do that, but hey, it worked.
And congratulations.
Part of it. All right. As he walks out, he throws open these doors, and he walks in a very flamboyant way, but the way that his eyes just rake both you and Janetta from head to toe, undressing you with his eyes, is very much that machismo male.
Obscura just kind of stands there and just blank face, looks kind of casual and bored with her arms crossed.
Oh, the new blood has arrived, I see. And it's a very poor French accent. You know that he's just trying too hard with it.
It's so fucking fake.
So why don't you have a seat, my friend, and let's talk a little bit about what your contract says. I've heard some really good things.
You must be the exec they send to talk to me. Come. Let us go out on the balcony so we can assault our ears with the music before we get there.
All right, that sounds like a good idea. I'll motion to these two to check the balcony out, and then the others to go to the other windows so that they're further away from the discussion.
Are
Are
you
you
okay
okay,
there?
RV? Because I can hear that over the radio.
You gonna live, sir? Do we need to call Patches?
You're
You're
muted.
on mute.
Obviously, he's had a little too much of his tradition for pregame.
I meant to hit the mic. I hit the speaker instead.
Do not aspirate fireball, please.
Okay.
So he does the two other guards do kind of fall back towards one stands towards his room and one more towards the front door to kind of keep a full eye view on the room. As Janetta and Obscura both follow you and Risk out onto the balcony.
I'll set the 3 drinks that I created. I'll set one in front of him, set one in front of me, and I'll put the other off to the side. And
Oh,
say,
thank you. And he picks it up and he kind of sniffs it and "You have good taste," and just downs it all in one.
which is why I brought the second, because I knew he'd want one to sip. And
Merci beaucoup, my friend.
My friend Risk, there's just been a couple of things that I wanted to bring up before we get into details about the stuff that we were planning to talk about. So your group that has been helping protect you, I'm getting word that there is likely to be some additional risk for you in the
Exterreri.
future. So exactly.
Hey,
So
said it.
for in a couple of days, you'll probably see some additional security come in. The word is that it's not going to be a danger to you for like 3 or 4 days. So just so you're aware that that stuff's coming. But
And who do they think is targeting?
they think it's someone that can climb walls. So we're going to be putting some extra security
He
around on the roof and stuff.
stands up and puts his hands on the balcony and stares up and he's like, "I knew that bastard was coming for me."
Which bastard?
Regular Spider-Man.
I tell you, the reason why I think somebody's going to come at me from the balcony is because man, up there is a bastard. He's always making loud noises and banging on the floor and beauty sleep.
Hey, Risk, just
Obscura is literally internally groaning right now at how ridiculously stupid this guy is. He's like wondering what the fuck she's gonna find in his head when she goes to jack in.
Well, first of all, she's gonna find that his ability to maintain a French accent and a Russian accent are completely interlocked and
Yeah, he's gonna sound
cannot
like he's
make
from
a
New
difference.
Jersey.
Everything's legal in
I
New Jersey.
can't do a Jersey accent, so good luck
That's
with
okay. I can.
So,
both of you really quick make perception checks for me.
just regular perception.
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
20.
So you both notice his one hand that he had just been all dramatic with. When he puts it back down on the arm of the chair, he angles it just so that he can like run his finger up and down Janetta's leg. He's
That's
trying
his
so
problem,
hard
not
not
mine.
to laugh.
I'm just and Obscure just kind of steps back and starts like checking out the balcony over here to also not laugh. Because Obscura knows Janetta would fuck him up.
So, Risk, I want to ask you a few questions about how you feel about things. And so I'm going to start going into some leading questions that are going to give me an insight as to whether or not he is likely to want a peaceful solution to what we're trying to do and suggest for the killware that it's in his head, or if he is likely going to need us to take the more dramatic approach.
Okay.
So would that be like human perception or
I would say first roll a persuasion check for how you're presenting what you're doing.
I got a 10 and an 8, so it's 18 plus 14, 32. 30. I don't know. It's over 30.
Over
It's a lot.
9,000.
$32. I can math.
That dice went bye-bye.
Forever lost until we move
It's
your desk.
afraid of me.
I missed the dice tray, and it bounced off of 3 different points on my desk before going underneath it. Okay. Now go ahead and roll human perception.
All right, so I'm going to spend 3 points of luck on this one.
Okay.
So I got 15.
All right. He seems a little hard to read. He's just so flamboyant with how his reactions and things are that you almost miss, but just barely catch a devious, clever wink in his eyes. Like, you're pretty sure that the extravagant, over the top image is just to throw people off. But he's really smart and calculating underneath all that.
Okay.
But otherwise, you don't pick up whether he would be amenable to
Okay.
an approach at this point. He
So,
rolled really high on his.
oh, that's fine. So what I'm kind of wondering here, Kat, is whether or not, so out of character, I'm wondering whether or not what we want to do is um, give him an example of the killware that we think that might be there.
How do you think we can give him an example?
Well, you would have recordings of something like that had happened in the past, right? Or access to that.
I mean, I could probably pull up some data on it. I have some sort of skill in that, like librarian or something. It's pretty high too. So I mean, we could pull up examples.
Right, because Chris, out of character, I can't remember, but did we get an idea about the sort of thing we thought might be causing some of these issues that we're looking for that was in him?
It's not issues that you're looking for. It's basically what now Frank wants you to do is get your hands on the material that he's using to blackmail
Right.
Lachlan specifically, but Megacorps in general.
Right.
So they're all going to be
I
out
know
to
that.
get him, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
the only reason that Danger Gal gives him security is because of how much he has on them as blackmail, and they have yet to find anybody that can break into it. And so it's better for them to protect the blackmailer than to try and do anything else, because he does have fail safes in place if he is killed or goes missing, where he's got 3 or 4 contacts that have an encrypted drive that they can give out to medias.
Yeah, a guy like that would have backups. So killing him is
Right,
like
and
the worst possible idea for them. Doesn't matter for us, but
right, but in order to
so
get access to it, we're trying to convince them that the killware is there.
Oh yeah, that
right.
part.
So
Uh,
really, what we need to do is convince them the killware is there,
Mhm.
and then convince them that we can get it out, which would give us an in to put him under because it's the only safe way, and then I can
Right.
pull stuff out. But if he's more willing to let me in, then it's going to be less of a fight when I go after the data.
And then less likely to need the sedative and the
We can mildly sedate him to keep him calm, and he's not going to fight me as much. So, because guys
Right.
like that are still going to be nervous no matter what. So we'd have to sedate him somewhat so that he doesn't like activate any of his neural that could possibly come for me. Make the job a lot easier. So we have two things we have to convince him of: is one, it's there, which there's a possibility it is, and two, that I can get it out.
I could definitely convince him.
And I
Really
have
good.
library search.
Kira,
Hmm?
roll me a cyber tech check.
Oh, cyber text. 19, my friend.
So when you walk around behind him to go over to the balcony rail to hide the laughter, you do notice that behind his ear, where the neural implants that all of you have as well, uh, for the recording of memories, feelings, emotions, all that all citizens of Somnum Exterreri have, there is a link on it that is almost like a tiny bug that is gripping into his skin from around it that is not anything you've seen before.
So it's not like a skill chip or anything like that.
Could be the kill switch, like a bomb
Yeah.
blows head off, or that could be the thing that melts his brain.
I think can you get a picture of it and send it to Patches? I'll distract
try.
him.
Yeah.
So I want to try to distract him so he doesn't notice Cat sending a picture to Patches.
Oh, you mean the camera picture?
Let's call it an acting check to see if you can convince him to look away.
So this is something I actually have points in. I got a 19.
All right, how do you try and distract him?
I'm going to give him a lesson on how to not drop out of the French accent.
Oh,
Because
do tell.
the French accent is done with a little more of a nasal tone, but you have to have the
Nasal.
guttural
I can't.
air. Use the air.
Trying to do his Irish.
Je suis très bien. No
Je
more.
suis très bien.
No,
And Obscure's
très.
back there, and she snaps a picture real quick, and then sends it to Patches like, "Look at this motherfucker!" And can you identify the thing behind his ear?
So stupid. OMG. LOL.
This asshole thinks he's something else.
Let me.
Hashtag WTF bacon.
Cet connard est très bien.
For all of the freaking skills they have, a lot of the times I can't actually find what I'm looking for. Let's call it a science roll under intelligence Patches.
That's a 16.
All right. So as you're looking at this, you start to get an idea of what it can be, and Dulcie kind of comes up behind you and sets her chin on your shoulder to look over your shoulder. Oh, I've not seen one of those lately. Frisk is not only bugged so that people can hear all of his conversations, but he's also, there's a tiny little vial of poison that resides in that cybernetic that will inject and kill him at a moment's notice.
I will definitely relay the information to Obscura straight away.
Dulcie's kind of like, I wonder why, if he's such a blackmailer, whoever planted that on him hasn't. Perhaps there is somebody who benefits from his blackmail. And she does kind of lean forward and give you a kiss on the cheek before she turns around and walks away and does something else.
Well, if I had to guess, not being there, I would say that Pink is the guy that benefits the most.
Has to be someone with access as well.
I mean, all of his security is from Danger Gal. Kiara does seem to have control over who is sent.
She will take any benefit she possibly fucking can, so.
But anyway,
So-
he's staring avidly at Domino like, okay, yes, I'm very French. Bonjour. It's still really bad.
Buongiorno.
Bon Jovi.
We are going so far from French right now.
And about this
Yeah, well, so is that
time,
accent.
about this time, Harvey,
Yes.
you and the band are about to take the stage. And as you're back, sorry, there's something I had to get a picture of that was cracking me up. As you and Star Eater begin to ascend the steps up onto the stage, across from you is the Scoundrels. And whereas Star Eater, with Nicholas as the front man, is very like that, like quintessential rocker boy chic with the like leather and the studs and the hair.
This fucking
These
guy.
guys literally look like they just crawled out of the gutter. Like they've got on torn clothing. It's all it's not dirty per se, but it's like they tried to artfully tear their clothes to emulate some of the high fashion, like what Risk would wear.
Wow.
Oh,
All right, we got
that's so cringy.
Yeah, we got some pretentious. I bet they smell how they look right now. Yeah, I can smell it.
And as the stage is set, it is the two bands not quite facing each other, but also not quite facing the audience, so it kind of comes at a diagonal. At this point, the entire theater is completely filled to capacity with people. Patches out front. It is now like all around you are people, and you do have it like it is known that if an ambulance light goes on at one of these things, people will automatically move because ambulance drivers are more likely to run your ass over because the person they're likely to have in the ambulance is more important than whoever's on the ground.
They're always more important.
They have
Mostly.
insurance. Does this guy have insurance? No. Okay.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They get paid either way.
Yeah.
Dulcie has now faded into the crowd, and she had let you know that she will meet you back somewhere later. But she has relayed the information that she can add to it, and has melted into the crowd and gone her own way. And where you, the other two of you are on the balcony with Risk, you have heard the rave music die down, and his eyes start to light up a little bit, and he's all like, "Oh, the main show is about to start. Shall we go? You
Yeah.
That
friend,
would be a good
you want
idea.
to come with, right? You would like to come with, and you will be." And he like as you stand up, he puts his arm around your shoulders and he's like, "We will be very good friends. Drink with me." And then he just downs his second drink.
And she texts she texts Domino. She's like, "You might want to get some shots after this because that just looks like herpes."
I just take, because I bring it with me on stage. I just take a shot of that Dubliner honeycomb, and
Oh, so good.
so goddamn good. And I go, and I just say, "Je mérite ma pantalon," and I start the beginning riff to Ballad of the Big Man Down.
So
this episode is French themed.
apparently,
I'll be there for you. It's not friends, it's French. When we have all the croissants, I'll be there.
No, you all have made your way into the elevator and are headed down, and your driver is waiting, but he's like, "Oh no, I have a faster way." And he legit has a helicopter on a helipad off to the side to take you the 2 miles to the theater.
so something I just thought about. If he's tapped, Kat, do you have any, or Obscure, do you have anything that can help prevent transmissions from outside this area while we're headed out? You start working on things, because I'm concerned that we're going to start seeing opposition as a result of that.
Let me look. Like, out of character, let me look real quick because I think
Okay.
I have something in my inventory, but I need to locate it. So
Okay.
pause that
There.
thought. Scanner. I do. I have a scrambler / de-scrambler.
There we go.
I was like, I know I bought something just for this bullshit right here.
Well played, well played.
So in
Oh,
character, yes, I have something I can jam the signal with. I have a scrambler and de-scrambler.
Okay. So I'm gonna, as we get in this helicopter and we head out over the noise, I'm gonna tell Risk that I think that you have
He did tell
a bug on
Cherry
you.
and Doris to stay behind, so it is just the 3 of you in with him and the pilot.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell him this without the headset, so that the pilot can't hear. I'm gonna say, I think you got a bug on you that is tracking your movement and transmitting everything you say. And I give him some sort of bullshit on the cyberware that we found out about, that about why we think that, and say, when we get done, can we take a quick look?
Do you show
Obscure
him
is
the
just
picture that was taken of it?
Obscure
Yeah.
leans over and shows him the picture. Like, look, you have this on your memory chip.
All right, make me a persuasion check, Domino, with a +2 on it for the picture evidence.
Okay. And that should be a 14 to start. All right. So 21.
He kind of looks at you skeptically at first and then looks down at the phone and then looks at you. He's like, "The bitch was right. Did bug me."
Which bitch?
This from Rockland, not Danger Gal. Danger Gal, I mean, not a leash on Kiara, but we have an understanding. As you probably working for her. No, the bitch Jacinda Hidalgo said that she had bugged me.
Oh, we're gonna leave out that she's dead if you don't know. I just look at Domino, I'm like, and I kind of nod at him, like,
Make
just
a
go
human
with it.
perception check to see if it looks like he realizes
10.
she's dead or not.
14, 23.
Do I need to make one too?
He's got it high enough that I'll just
Okay.
give it to you. He looks genuinely angry, but also like you see a calculating light in his eyes that yes, he knows she's dead and he's trying to figure out now how he can get it removed safely.
I'll look at Obscura and give her a nod and say, if you're concerned about this, we can help off the books. We just need a little bit of information to know whether or not we're headed the right direction.
I'll let your previous persuasion check still stand on this.
Okay.
And he starts to look between the two of you. And you can tell that he's doing basically the math in his head of what his best course of action is. And realizing that it's you that found it with barely ever having even seen him. You're probably his best bet. And he does have the headphones on, but he does cover the mic part. And he's like, all right, I agree to an exchanging of information for help removing. Now let us go to the music, he shouts. And the helicopter does land. Like it starts to patches. You see this perfectly. The patch of grass that is in the middle of the circular drive just starts to clear of people as this helicopter starts to land. And then as the blades start to slow down, people like mob towards it. And there are certain females that are shouting Risk's name because he does have fangirls.
Gross.
They always do.
Not always.
And so as you get out of the helicopter, he leans towards you, Domino, and says, all right, do you have a way to get me somewhere secure and away from anybody who might overhear?
We do. And I'll lead him out with the security to take him on the path that we've pre-selected to distract as many people away from him as possible.
All right, at this
And I'll
point,
mention to him as we're going what sort of things that we're talking about.
at this point, Janetta has sent a message to your agent, Harvey, saying, whatever big thing you got, do it now.
And I start. We're talking about the song, right?
Yes.
I just start. Essentially, like you know how the beginning of NIB by Black Sabbath, there's that bass solo.
Yes.
But there's a Primus version of it that's faster. Ballad of the Big Man Down starts something off like that, and then the guitarists join in with the same riffs, and then there's like silence for like 5 seconds, and then we just like blast into it. And usually that's a good starting song to get everybody to like mosh,
And
jump
as
around.
that silence envelops the theater, and then the blast of sound, people get super excited and start jumping and dancing. And give me a let's make this just a general dexterity check from all four of you that are going through to make sure that you're not separated in all of this and you make it to patches safely.
Is that a dexterity check?
Yeah.
$15.
My dex
Oh,
ain't
you
great.
don't need to, Harvey. It's just Janetta,
Well, then I'm
Obscura.
just all around the
Domino,
stage, just
Yeah.
slapping the bass. So
I
I'm
got
gonna spend 3
14.
points of luck on this because I suck. I have a 6 dex.
I
Would
got
evasion
14.
qualify for this?
Sure, I'll give you evasion.
Okay.
Oh, I can do evasion, do even better. Let's see what I get there. Oh, 17 for evasion.
5. I rolled a 1 and an 8.
Janetta rolled
Nice.
high enough that she sees you struggling to keep up with the group and it just kind of like pushes behind you and like herds you forward.
I
At this
appreciate
point,
that.
Patches, you do see that at least Domino is struggling. If you want to do your thing.
Yeah, then I'll definitely turn the sirens on, try to get a clearer path.
So the sirens go off and people get all confused. And in that moment, there's enough people in your area that stop moving that you can get through there in a straight line to get to Patches and the ambulance. And you just kind of abandon the table with the water and the bandages and stuff on that. You get him loaded into the back. Obscura turns on the scrambler. And at that point, you have in your hands Risk. And that is where we will end for the evening. Thank you to everybody who's come to hang out with us. Thank you so much to my players. It was a very good round of let's convince the bad guy that other bad guys are worse.
I mean, in this case, they kind of are, I think.
yeah,
He's just kind of a douche.
And he doesn't know they're dead yet. So
Well, I think he knows Jacinda's dead, but he's a douche, so whatever.
this guy reminds me a bit of.
Jacinda's dead doesn't mean that there isn't somebody else on it.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure Frank took the kill switch from her.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
Yes.
Exactly.
This guy reminds me of Varric from Korra. Just saying.
All right. Let us say one last hello and goodbye to our players. Eric.
With one C or two.
Two C's.
2 C's. All right. I am Domino, the exec. I have helped convince the one bad guy that the other bad guy is worse and that we are going to help him out. I don't know if we will, but we're going to see what happens. I found anywhere on social media at Despair.
I mean, either we'll help him or we'll brick his brain. I don't know.
Maybe both.
Either way, problem solved.
I'm Marie, and I play Patches the Mythic.
It worked. We heard you.
Yay!
Woo.
I fixed the delay thing. Hooray. I feel so proud of me.
Hi, my name is Eric with one C. I play Half Moon Harvey in Cyberpunk. I am also the creator of a TTRPG game called Trials of Bren. It takes place in a almost post-apocalyptic 10 years after a great AI war. And at some point, after my wedding, I will be playtesting and releasing a free beginner's guide version of the game before I make the big base game. And at some point, we will be playtesting it and showing it to you guys. So looking forward to that. My name is, and it's Trials of Bren, TTRPG. You can find me on both Instagram and Twitter. I was about to say Twilight. The hell's wrong with it?
No, just no.
Edward.
I actually saw a compelling Tumblr post today about good things that Twilight did for the fantasy genre in its horrible, horrible ways.
Were they high?
One of the points was having months long of chapters where it's just blank to show how depression is. And I mean, you're not completely wrong.
I could talk about depression without having to read the bullshit that is that book.
And on that note, Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. You can find me on Twitter as Autumn Knox, where occasionally I spam out all sorts of stuff and then say nothing for weeks at a time. And you can find me also right here at 7 p.m. on Cyberpunk. And every Wednesday for Chaos Curiosities or commentary now, because now we pretty much just do all of them. And other than that, I'm behind the scenes, pushing the buttons, doing those things. And that's it.
You're a younger sibling, aren't you?
Nope, I'm the oldest.
So you know how to really push the buttons.
I know how to push all them buttons really, really well.
Oh,
That's
Chernobyl would love you.
I know how to push the buttons. Being the oldest makes you very type A.
And I am Kristen. I have been your GM tonight. You can catch me 5 nights a week here, and another night a week over on Exquisite Corpse Presents. We actually come back this Saturday night to resume our adventures in Sister Cities. So come check us out on Exquisite Corpse Presents for that. Otherwise, our shows. You can catch us on Monday, where I have my 5e homebrew of Madness Takes Artena. Kat has been gracing us as a guest of Abris the Absurd, and it's an amazing, amazing way she's playing it, and I love it.
She's so fun.
Then on Tuesday, we are back with Watercolored Wizardry with Maria, and she is doing character for this show. Obscura is next. Got Half Moon Harvey done last time.
It was
it's so fucking cool.
It was
moving
beautiful.
on to the others. You can also reach out to her for commissions at mariaoglesbyart.com. She also does amazing cat and dog portraits for your pets and
pet portraits. Pet portraits.
Yes, those are words.
What I said. Not just ignore the word salad over there.
Word salad.
Then also on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. because I forgot that there's times. All times are Pacific. Artena is at 5:30. Watercolor Wizardry at 1 p.m. Misguided Magic is at 4:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, where I'm pretty sure that my sweet, sweet, fiery gamble girl might eventually die, because if it wasn't for a 1d4 healing from an audience member, Gloria would not be with us anymore. Maria does not play around. And then for this coming up Wednesday for Chaos Commentary, we do have Ty and Aaron, who are the masterminds behind Adventure Sling Productions and their completely from scratch game, New of Arden. We're going to have them on to talk all things, and it's going to be amazing. I love Ty and Aaron.
They're super cool. We got to be on their podcast, and they're a lot of fun to talk to, so it should be a good time. And
then on Thursday, with Chad, we have At the Threshold, where things are just getting weirder and weirder. And my poor reborn is at 2 strength right now.
Your characters are fucked all around on both games. You need some you need an adult. You need a more adult than your character adult.
I'm an adult.
My biggest problem is I always put my negative in strength.
You got to work on that. You need a buff character.
One's a clear lock. I don't need strength.
Yes, you clearly fucking do.
And then back here next Friday for more Somnum Exterreri and figuring out what exactly it is Risk has. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Also, to answer that question, Risk has a poor fashion sense.
I think it's fantastic.
It's so hideous. It's so bad. All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.
No.